Um,
No. One second. Shit. Man, this damn type of text is killing me. Okay. All right, all right, all right. Are you familiar with this guy right here? This guy.
no.
Okay. So he's an OG Israelite. So when people hop into this, like they're new and they have no idea what's going on. So sis, when you heard the brother say the split,
Mm-hmm.
remember yesterday or the day before he said the split?
Yeah.
Okay, sis, split means they're beefing with each other. So
Right.
all the brothers had different camps. You know, you got GMS, you got One West, Captain Tazariak, you got Elder Nathaniel, you got GOCC, Elder Record. Now all these brothers, you had some other guys that didn't make it, like they didn't like the House of David, and you got Brother Zabak, another one. So the bottom line says that all these guys split, and I mean, how's it possible? When you say when Israel split, it was just two kingdoms, right?
Right.
How did these guys split into 7, 8 different ways where they never got together with any like how the hell that many different people just go to different directions?
Hmm.
Right. So if they had a problem with the doctrine under Aria, then why don't they just leave and form their own thing? Says that's because they all wanted to be a leader. But
They got what's it called, Lucifer pride.
right. But look what happens though. So when they start fishing for fruit, right? They start fishing for fish to join their ranks. Everybody who joined them just was involved, just got thrown into the beef. So if you join Elder Nathaniel, well, guess what? People hate you now. If you join GCC, people hate you. GMS, right? They hate you. One West, they hate you. So wherever you, Brother Zabak, you know, there's people hate you. So, and then you got this brother right here. And his was Israel and God and Jesus Christ, right? IGJC. So he had the largest group at that time. Like nobody was larger than this guy. Like it wasn't even close. Like they were the most popular, they were the largest, and they had the best garments. So, and this video right here is what popped it off. Like this video, they got hella views for this. And matter of fact, this is what put Israel on the map. Like, because YouTube at this point was like fairly kind of like new and like going viral wasn't even like a thing just yet, especially not among like the you and I. So this video was like the first Israelite video to go viral, like besides the Kyrie or Kanye West, that type of shit. This was the first one.
Got to be the spirit. This got to be the spirit. This got to be God. How you doing?
He had two Mormons roll up on him, so you know he was smiling cheek to cheek.
Well, okay. We're representatives of Jesus Christ. We go around preaching about Jesus Christ, his teachings, and how they can bless their lives.
When somebody say, "Oh, really?" Back off.
How you doing?
Well, okay. We're representatives of Jesus Christ. We go around preaching about Jesus Christ, his teachings, and how they can bless their lives. I wonder if y'all would be interested in learning more.
Well, I mean, would you be interested in learning more?
Hey, Jesus Christ set up his church and gave that authority to act in his name, that priesthood authority, to the apostles. And the apostles went out and taught the people and established the church.
Yeah.
But
can you hear it? Can you hear it? Hold on, let me make sure everything's all the. Yeah, you should be able to hear it. Oh, wait. Hope I ain't showed the wrong thing.
Rejected Christ's teaching teachings and the teachings of the apostles.
You hear now?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you might need to turn your volume up because it's definitely sharing and the audio thing is checked. So listen one more time.
Then eventually
Can't hear anything.
Yeah, I can hear it now.
fell away into a state of apostasy.
Okay, but that's where I disagree. That's where I disagree because you said the people rejected Jesus Christ and his teachings.
Not everyone.
Yeah, but that's the way that's what I mean.
The people at that time.
No, not everybody at that
Not
time.
everybody. Some people divided.
Right,
Obviously,
right.
there was rejection there. We don't mean everyone.
No, I'm not denying the rejection, but I'm denying the fact that he said the people rejected.
Yeah, well, enough people rejected that they did something about it, and obviously he was crucified, died, resurrected.
When you talk about the crucifixion, we're talking about the death penalty of the state, which was the Roman Empire. The same way you got the death penalty here in America. So, I mean, we condemning Rome as a whole when we talk about the crucifixion, when we talk about who's responsible for the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, or we just talking about the people that didn't accept his message?
We don't condemn anyone because that's not our place.
No, I understand that, but according to what he just said, but listen, I mean, can I get a word in? What he just said was that when the people rejected Christ, the scriptures tell you he that believeth not is condemned already. So I'm going according to basically what you guys say. I'm not accusing you of condemning anybody. But when you said when the people rejected him, the way the Bible reads, once you reject and don't believe, you are condemned. So what I'm saying is the crucifixion, the Roman Empire that crucified him.
So 6, those Mormons were like the first Israelites. And what I mean is, like, they came indoctrinated, right? Their Mormon church did not teach them the Bible. It taught them doctrine, right? It taught them, hey, say this and say that and say this. So these brothers never sat up on their own and read the word. You agree? So the camps, 504 Peace, the camps do the same thing. When you join an Israelite camp, they just teach you their doctrine. Like, you're never educated how to be a great researcher and look at the Blue Letter Bible and Bible Hub and different, comparative text. Yeah, you're not taught that. You're taught, hey, we did it already. You ain't got to do shit. We already researched. So follow it this way. We're right. The Spirit is with us. So when you feel like that, then it's easy to be a punching bag for somebody like him.
That had that penalty of death, are those the ones that condemn, or is just the ones that rejected? That's my question.
Good question.
So I thought you guys was here to teach.
The Book of Mormon.
Okay.
It's a card.
Why would I take that? The scripture says that, if anybody come into your house and don't bring the correct book, that you're not supposed to bid them Godspeed. So, I mean, why would I take the Book of Mormon? We sitting here talking about the Bible. You pushing on me the Book of Mormon.
Because it testifies of Jesus Christ.
But don't the Bible testify of Jesus Christ?
Absolutely.
So then why do I need the Book of Mormon?
It helps strengthen that faith.
So
God's words need to be, God's word is weak. It needs to be strengthened by the Book of Mormon.
Well, because people can take the Bible,
Right.
twist it any other
And they
way
can't
want.
take the Book of Mormon and twist it?
No, it's the Book of Mormon is not the Bible.
Okay, so the Book of Mormon has more virtue than the Bible.
Sir,
I'm just asking, I'm wondering.
I understand. And we're not here to talk about it all night long like this.
Oh, really? Well, you was here to talk about it all night long before you knew I knew the scriptures.
No, sir.
Then you come up on your bike ride and saying, are you ready to learn something? Now you ready to go, huh?
Sir,
Wow. Is that what you guys about? When you run into somebody that you can't really...
do you want this or not?
Oh, now you're dictating what's going on. No, I don't want it. I think I made that clear. You know I don't want that. What you should want to know is the
I don't want that. He put it back in his pocket.
fact that you are in something that is not divinely inspired by God. It has no authority by Jesus Christ. This is the reason. The scripture says in the book of Luke chapter 21 verse 15. This is how you know who Christ ordained. He said, I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which none of your adversaries shall be able to gainsay nor resist. You guys can't come against anything that I'm saying. Everything that, no, you've been shut down already. Everything that I've been saying to you, speaking, listen, over talking is not going to get you nowhere. Being angry is not going to get you nowhere. I mean, we had a discussion. We're having a discussion here. I don't need to stop and listen to you. The bottom line is I asked you questions that you couldn't answer. You clearly said, I don't know on tape. I mean, it's not like I'm lying to you guys. Christ said, I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which none of your adversaries shall be able to gainsay nor resist. I have that mouth. That's why you're feeling the way you're feeling right now. Your only reaction is to get angry and to get frustrated and to be evil. That's your only reaction. You don't want to deal intelligently.
Yeah, that was like, he threw the get evil, the white man devil type.
And diplomatically with the word of God. The scripture says that the servant
All right, that's it. Now you can see why, everybody chat, you can see why that this guy was the guy at that time. Because there's nobody in Israel talking like this. And I don't think nobody talking like that now. So this dude was very sharp with the tongue. He was very charismatic. He had a whole style, the way he taught, that's not even taught right now. Think about the guys who are teaching right now, like Raquel, like Nathaniel, Captain, like nobody was like him.
Must not strive. Why argue about it? If we all believe in the Bible, shouldn't we agree? Can two walk together except they agree? What has to happen here, or what's happening is, somebody must not be believing the Bible. Especially if you're getting upset about a conversation about the scriptures, you must really don't believe.
Yeah.
Now, could that be it?
Are you asking me, or are you telling me what I do?
No, what I'm asking and what I'm trying to figure out is common sense. If we all have a common ground and we believe in the Bible, then should anybody be upset?
Yeah, bro. They don't know about this video right here. This is like the first Israelite video to go viral. It's not too many. Like, Kyrie is funny because he's not really a member, but he promoted the Hebrews from Negroes to Hebrews to Negroes. And then Kanye himself went viral. So like Israelites really didn't go viral. It's just like people who supported Israelites. But he's the only Israelite that I know of that actually went viral. That went like crazy, millions of views. And he put Israel on the map. You know, the whole movement. This video right here put it on the map.
We're having a wonderful conversation about the Bible. Because we all believe in the Bible. We all believe in Jesus Christ. But evidently and obviously, some of us are lying about who we really believe in. Some of us really believe in Joseph Smith. And they really don't believe in Jesus. That's why when you preach Jesus, they get upset and say, sir, listen to me. And try to dominate the conversation. Because they can't talk diplomatically and righteously about Jesus Christ because you have not so learned Christ. If you have learned Christ and have been taught by Christ as the truth is in Christ, then you will know.
Mongo Slade said, this is one of the first videos that you played on your channel. This is still fun. I beat them up. Yeah, exactly. And do you know, I was like, this brother right here is the reason, like he's the first Israelite that put me on when I was like heavy at that time. He was the first brother to make me aware that the virgin birth was true. All of Israel, every last one of them. Matter of fact, he's the only person that's from that One West camp. And he's from the original One West. Because Arya went with him. The person that died, everybody like making a big, like he went with him.
Right.
So he's like the only, and he's the original. He's nobody new that teach the virgin birth. Because I was teaching it was false, all that stuff. And then when I watched their videos, I'm like, wait, what? You know, my reaction is like, what are you doing? Yo, y'all bugging. But when I started to listen to the videos and hear their logic and read the verses, I'm like, oh shit. Yo, the virgin birth is true.
All right.
So I was like, oh shit. So I was like, all right, well, let me try to wake up other Israelites to let them know that, yo, y'all into a false doctrine. So when I went to like recite their verses, the brothers were like, just like closed-minded, like kind of like these Mormons. They were closed-minded. They didn't want to listen to nothing I had to say. I'm like, yo, you don't even want to at least talk about it and let's see if it's true. You just block me out immediately. And that's what you can't get to that level. I was trying to warn the OG about that the other day. Like, you can't get to a level where you think you know it all and you heard it before. According to the Bible, those are the people God's going to challenge. Because your mind is sealed at that point. You stop learning. You stop looking for a new way. I said that the people of Saul's army, look right here. Look what I'm reading right here. Wait, let me move this out of my way. Look right here. That's Saul. I'm in it's Samuel. This is dealing with Saul. Well, King David now. But I read every last word of 1 Samuel, and I'm on 2 Samuel. And look what translation I'm reading. The God's Words. This makes it easy. I'm reading the God's Words translation. You know what I mean? He said the last original Hebrew. What's dude's name? Oh yeah, this dude is Tazadakia. Yeah, if I was to join any camp, it would have been this camp. But the Esau doctrine kind of like that kind of like let me go sideways because the reason for Esau being Esau, then they would have to say King David is also Esau. See, and so when they wouldn't admit that, it's like, well, how is Esau Esau? How is the white man Esau? Because their teaching of why the white man is Esau will be the same way King David is Esau.
All right.
So I did a video on that because they say that the white man, they say Esau, the white man, he was red all over. Well, King David was red all over. So I'm like, so how does that work for Esau or not? And trust me, when I bring this up to Israelites, it says I can go many different routes. I've been liking the virgin birth the most, but I can do the Esau thing. I could do the Greek, the Jew, the Gentile thing with them. And I did that and it was no fun. It's like a clear win. So I didn't like that. I like something more like controversial where they could feel more confident. So I dropped the Greek Jew thing. And I went with, and I'm gonna show you some clips, maybe tonight. I'm gonna show you some clips of what people said, which made me like say, all right, I'm done with this one. This is like people are just making up shit, and it's not fun. But the Esau thing, I had a brother on here, and we didn't even record it. We had a brother on a private Zoom chat. It was me and Google Scholar and the brother. And the brother was just, like, dude. So isn't King David a white man too? He's red all over too. And the dude just couldn't make his mind up like this. So how is one white and the other one not? It red, and I played the videos of the brothers breaking down Esau. They said red meant lack of melanin. Okay, so that means if King David is red, lack of melanin, right?
Right.
Oh no, not with King David. He's red for another reason. So what about Esau's red for another reason? You did like you can't do that. Like I can't say Lisa Aries, she got a 70 on the test, so she failed. And then till Descent, he got a 70, but he passed. It's like, yo, Lisa gonna be like, what just happened? Is a 70 a failing grade or a passing grade? Like, what's going on here?
Right.
And if I say, hey man, it depends who you are. You're like, oh hell no, I'm about to get y'all in trouble. I'm gonna call up, the school, corporate, whatever. So that's not how that works. So anyway, so I'm reading second. So I'm always in chapter 7. I found something interesting, by the way. And I'm reading this because of LJ. LJ had brought me a scripture that I missed. And it's this. I'm so much of a perfectionist. LJ sent me a verse that I missed in 1 Samuel, or so 2 Samuel actually.
Mm-hmm.
I was so embarrassed that I said, fuck, I'm about to read it all over again. So I don't miss nothing else. Like, but that's how studious I am. Like, I hate to miss something because what he showed me was very crucial. It's like, damn, how I missed that? So let me go back. And so when that last brother came on here, he mentioned it, the good brother, not the brother that was in the debate, the brother that came on after him. So that brother mentioned it. So I was already aware, like I was up on game. Now, had LJ not shared that with me, I'd have been lost when that brother had mentioned that. I'd have been like, wait, what? All right. So I'm going to play the rest right here.
What the Bible is all about. But you don't know that, sir. You don't. How can you say an empty statement like that? What did I say that shows you that I do not know anything about Jesus?
Hang on.
Yes. Oh,
West Esau, white baby.
Bye.
That's crazy.
Bye.
Good night. It's good to meet you.
Yeah, it's good to meet you too. But you can't bid somebody that don't believe in Jesus Christ, God's feet.
I know that justice was.
Okay, I don't care what you know, sir. This conversation is over.
He walked away like a boss on his ass. So yeah, he wasn't thirsty like to keep talking to him, like how some Israelites be. He beat him up and just turned his back on him and bounced, and then started talking shit.
Clearly see, there's not a man on the planet that can stand before us. This is evidence. It don't matter whether it's the white boys that's lost that think they believe in Jesus but really believe in Joseph Smith, or whether it's the Israelite that knows he's the Israelite and he's an antichrist. The same thing happens. They cannot stand here in front of us because we're the real ones. We're the guys.
That's right.
You just seen it live.
All right. So, hey, dude, new Black Peace, bro. So let me read some comments. So let me catch up. He said the last original Hebrew, not facts. Yeah. So this is one Hebrew brother that I respect over all of them. Like I ain't gonna lie, I like the Ricard and I like the Elder Nathaniel. I like everybody else was kind of weak, like the Junior Yohanas and I like Brother Zabak, but I thought he was weak too. Like, but I used to like him though. And it was the 114 Harlem Israelites. I remember now. It was 114. It wasn't the 1942 that the brothers talked about. It was 114. I remember. I think they took their videos down for whatever reason. Oh, because a gay dude had came to their camp, and the gay dude had spit on the brother. Now this dude like 6'5", 6'6", like he about like 240, 250. Like he clearly could kick everybody out to the street. And the gay dude came up there and spit in his face. So of course he knocked that gay dude head backwards. You did? And that gay dude probably called the cops and all that crazy shit and got them, I don't know, probably got them locked up. You know how that shit goes. Hate crime. But the gay dude assaulted first. My man knocked his head 180. He said, dude left work and ran into two Mormons in the park lot. Okay, so I'm catching up. Yeah, his name is Tazadakia. He's Tazadakia, aka the Comforter. Yeah, I've been watching by his channel for years. We go way back. Yeah, facts. So, ILCK, peace, man. So I'm sure I wonder if you aware of Tazadakia, the Comforter. Okay, so according to the Bible, Esau married an African, their son married an African, their son married an African. Oh, he said their child looks like Brad Pitt today. So that's the first video I've seen of an Israelite in the street talking about the Bible. I bet that video streams no higher than, oh yeah. So you can see that the video is way old.
Yeah.
Rasta man, peace. Yeah. I just brought you up, brother. When we had that discussion with the young brother about King David, red and ruddy, and Esau, red and ruddy. It's like, dude, if one is white, they both white. So it can't be both ways. Either they both black or they both white. All right. And the thing is, like, they way off because the Esau is not the most hated people in the Bible. It's actually the Canaanites and the Hittites. God hates them worse because the Egyptians and Esau, Edomites, God go light on them.
Right.
He go very light, but the Canaanites, shit. The Hittites, those people, he said, don't ever listen what he says, sis. I've read it before. He said, don't marry none of them, man or woman. He never said that about Egyptians. He never said that about Esau. He said, don't touch a Canaanite. That was a law. Now, but he said, don't abhor Esau, right? He said, don't abhor a Egyptian.
Right.
But Canaan and those Hittites, you're like, the hell with them. All right. So let me go ahead and do this. Oh yeah. Now the virgin birth is definitely my thing, but it was like, to be honest, sis, it was a lot of people in the chat that gave me things, right, to help put me in different directions on the virgin birth that I would have never found out myself. So ILCK came on here and we talked, and he put me in a different direction I would have never thought of. So I'm like, damn, dude. So when he gave me that information, I'm like, now I'm going to format this because it was a lot of stuff. And then LJ, the True Meats, and Google, and then like the chat period would like send me links and like just redirect me to different things. I'm a true researcher. Like I live for this. So when somebody send me a link, says, trust me. Well, you know, somebody might send you a 2-hour link. You go, I ain't watching that. I actually watch it.
Yeah.
I actually watched the whole thing. So, and a lot of times when they send me a link, they didn't watch it them damn selves. So when I ask them questions about that link, they don't know. So I'm like, wait a minute. So you sent me a link of something you didn't watch? Nigga, don't you ever send me shit else.
Right.
Why look like you just sending me links that you don't watch? Nigga, stop. See, but you faking. You faking like you watch this shit. So don't do that. Don't send me a link you didn't watch yourself. Unless you're saying, I'm biased. I didn't watch this. Ron, Swazi, I didn't watch this. Check it out. You might like this. Then I get it. But don't send me a link with no title, subtitle, no caption, and I'm gonna think you watched it.
Right.
Watch this. Okay, so this is, I'm not gonna play much of it, but I just want to show you some of his teaching style.
Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. I'll give you the man Moses that was in Pharaoh's house.
So now, nobody was, at this time, sis, nobody was doing this. You see, I got the scriptures right here and the fancy, like he's on stage with all these damn mics. Nobody in Israel was doing this, sis. And they probably ain't doing it now. So this is how far he was ahead of everybody in Israel.
Right? And that knew that his people was out there as slaves in the land of Egypt.
That's just
and he knew that he was one of those people. Everybody got that, right? So he chose to do what? Suffer what?
And by the way, he had the largest camp. Nobody can compare this guy. And even though Israel United in Christ's camp is large, their camp today is still not larger than his camp back in the day.
He chose to go through what God said they supposed to go through. Didn't God tell Abraham that thy seeds will be a stranger in a land that was not theirs? And the stranger.
Yeah, this is the comforter. This is my boy. I ain't gonna lie. This is my boy. I used to rock with the comforter.
Should afflict them? Did he tell him that? Did he tell him that? So Moses chose to do what God said to do rather than take the better way out and live the good life, the easy way. Do everybody understand that?
Look, I mean, look at the background. Like, look how, he had everything organized, and
a lot of times we see
you don't see this today.
Do this and you do that. We're gonna show you that ain't cool with God. You're gonna find that out. So this is what the children of Israel was doing. They were rebelling against God.
Right.
Read on.
Verse 3.
Come on.
The ox know of his owner.
The ox know of his owner. Read on.
And the
Now,
ass.
this is a whole different group with different colors on. So the other guys had red. These guys got white. These dudes were like color coded like a mother.
Master's crib.
Yeah, these dumb animals. These animals know who is in charge. They ain't gonna question the master. Do everybody understand that? These animals are dumb, but they smarter enough to know who's in charge.
All right, so I'm gonna skip past that. I'm gonna just show random.
Be like us, sound like us, dress like us.
Ashes to ashes and dust to dust.
They out there and they dressing like us. They wearing the headpieces, they wearing the scarves,
All right, so this is some stuff you did.
To the earth and heard a voice saying unto him.
Look, that's Arya right there, by the way. That's him right there. The guy that passed, that's him right there. So just let you know, he went with Tazadakia, the comforter.
Saul.
And he had a whole website. And anybody have a website back in the day? He had a whole website.
Why persecutest thou me?
This was the voice of Jesus Christ. Everybody understand that? Christ said, whatsoever you do unto these my little ones, you have done it unto me. Everybody understand that? So Christ is asking Paul, why are you persecuting me?
All right. So I'm just letting you guys see somebody that Israel don't speak about, straight act like he never existed. And he was like the face of Israel.
And trying to persecute Paul because he was speaking against.
All right. So just random videos. Let me see.
Stole us. The Bible tells you about man stealers. They got to learn that.
All right, just random. I'm trying to look for one video in particular when they had one of their concerts.
Let's read that one more time.
Verse 16, St. John 14:16.
Yeah, they had the fancy garments.
Read.
And I will pray the Father.
Read on.
And he shall give you another comforter.
He shall give you what?
And
that's what he was saying. He's that other comforter.
another comforter.
Read on.
That he may abide with you forever.
Who was the first comforter? Let's not let the suspense build. Let's go right to it. Let's get the book of Luke chapter 3.
So it is, he was kind of decent in the Bible. He was decent. He had you taking notes like a mug.
And he saith,
Matter of fact, he the one that taught me this right here. Because the Nation of Islam Muslims, they would say the comforter was Elijah Muhammad. And you see it says Elijah, right? So in Malachi, I think 4 and 5, when it says before the great and dreadful day, I will send you Elijah. The Nation of Islam, the Malcolm X Muslim bow tie eating ass niggas, bean pie, they would say that's Elijah Muhammad. So I never had a comeback for that. So when he read this right here in the New Testament, I said, oh, they are done. I used to kick the Nation of Islam ass when they proposed Elijah Muhammad was that Elijah to come. So right here, they're asking him, John the Baptist, I believe it is. They're asking like, are you Elijah? He said, no. Are you that prophet?
He said, that's not me. Nope. Read on. Art thou that
So he asked him, are you Elijah? And hell no, I ain't Elijah.
prophet? Are you that prophet?
That prophet, Deuteronomy 18 and 18.
The prophet that Moses spoke about, that was going to come from among their brethren. See, Israelites knew the scriptures. So they knew these things were destined to happen. So they asked him, are you that prophet? Read on. And he answered, no. Said wrong again, that's not me. Read on. Then said they unto him, read on. Who art thou? Who are you? John the Baptist was somebody in the scriptures.
Right, so they knew he was somebody, but they couldn't pinpoint him because they didn't know the Bible like they thought they did.
Prophesied to come. See, there was a scripture about a comforter coming. The first comforter. And he was prophesied to come. So they're saying, who are you? So now John the Baptist is about to tell him, I'm the comforter. Read on.
Oh, yeah. Please hop on with Apostle, man. Now he's gonna overtalk you. He's gonna talk, just prepare to get your pillow. He's gonna talk a lot. Like dudes be insecure as hell, sis. Like they don't want you to talk. Like they will invite you on. Like I've been in mad debates where they just talked the entire time. I said nothing, and they said they won. I'm like, yeah, I guess you did win. I didn't say shit. I didn't say anything. Okay, I guess you did win. I didn't get to say anything. So Apostle's one of those people, True Meech. He's going to do a lot of talking, and you just got just do what you do. Just make sure that you be aggressive and say some stuff. Because if you don't, he's going to talk the whole way. So sometimes I'll let them talk. Where I'm like, you know what? I don't have the energy to like really apply myself into this conversation, and I really don't care because they're not saying anything deep. Man, fuck it. I'll just be quiet. And then other times, maybe I got holy water inside me, and I'm sipping on something, I might be more aggressive. Yeah, so if I'm sipping before I debate, I'm not gonna let nobody just talk. Like you're gonna see me say, nah, I'm talking. But if I'm sober, then I might let them just talk circles around me. Yeah, brother, good luck on getting the question in. Because even asking the question is gonna be like, damn, dude, can you stop? So I gotta ask you a question. God damn. He said you were feeding Google. Yeah, no, look, True Meech, that is the most crazy shit ever. That he said I was feeding Google Scholar information. If you watch their debate, Google Scholar said nothing that I talk about. When at that time, when do I ever talk about the Codex Sinaiticus? That wasn't even in my language. That was Google Scholar shit. So that was interesting. As a matter of fact, Google Scholar surprised me. I didn't know he knew that much. Like he knew way more than I thought I gave him credit for. So I was like, wow, he did good. I'm thinking Apostle gonna get him. I'm like, oh, okay, he did good. He actually won. Yeah, so when he said I gave him talking point, that's interesting. Because he said nothing that I say in my lives.
Right.
Like he came with his own argument, and I respected that. Yeah. So that was interesting. He said, Swabby, remember you debated the Sakari dude and he spoke for 45 minutes? Yeah. So yeah, that's that sodomite guy. Yeah, that guy, he gonna tell Deacon he spanked me on his show. I didn't say, I said, dude, I emailed him. I ain't even like say anything on the live because I ain't trying to like, make myself famous or, you know, or get everybody looking at me. I just email. I said, let me email this guy. Let me do man to man. Let me do it privately. I said, dude, why you acting like you spam me? I said, dude, dude, can we have a debate where we just talk the same? You get 10 minutes, I get 10 minutes, you get 15, same time. Man, how do you have a debate where the time is uneven? How's that? I mean,
it's not a fair debate.
Yeah, like, dude, because sis, I was expecting him to let me talk at some point. And it wasn't until like an hour and a half in where I realized, I said, oh shit, he ain't gonna let me talk. So I started getting a little more aggressive. And then, you know, so I finally asked him a question, but the dude wouldn't let me talk at all. I take that as, I don't have those egos like certain men have, that they gotta scream and yell and cuss you out. When he wouldn't let me talk, I took that as, oh, this dude respect the shit out of me. Right? Because you'll let a fool talk all day. Because they say you don't know a fool until he opens his mouth. Right? So you could beat him up easily. So, but if you're not letting me talk, that means you don't think I'm a fool. You think I know something, but you don't want me to say it on your live, you know, to influence your followers, chat, or whoever, members. So I took that as respect. You know, I didn't really take that as disrespect. I took that this dude feared the shit out of me. And that's how I really took it. I took it just like that. That's why I didn't trip. I didn't cuss him out. I didn't get crazy. I took it like, yo, this dude really respect me. Yeah. So facts. He didn't seem like he was getting any. Right. I'm telling you, right. Nothing. You know, I'm Bible, right? I'm verses. What did Google Scholar say that was verses, like Bible? He was going over history. He took a whole different angle. All right. So that's the brother. Just like a little dedication for y'all that didn't know who he was. That's the brother again. This the brother again. Yeah, he had a clever teaching style. I'll just show you like maybe 10 seconds of this one.
Won't you just be honest with yourself? This ain't nothing new.
It says 11 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And this not even his channel. So somebody re-uploaded this. So it's probably like even older than that. 11 years ago. So and he was the guy. Got him. Yeah, so he was the guy.
The congregation.
Look, the music behind it.
Yeah.
Have not chosen to be his people.
Their music.
Yeah, that's fact. The dudes for Sakari, they actually can rap. The other guys be trash. The dudes for Sakari, I heard a couple of them. Like they actually make good music. I actually buy it. It's actually
Me too. I just wish there was there's a lot of songs I like from them. I wish they would like post them or like, you know what I'm saying?
It's actually good music. I listen to them. All right, these dudes like even Gorilla Hebrew can rap, Deacon can rap. There's a couple others of brothers can rap, and I did hear other Israelites who can rap too. So I'm like, all right, you know, these dudes really sound like somebody in the industry. They got like a real gift. All right, so you know the fancy little garment. Let me get out of there. And this was another one, right? So I want to get to what I want to get to. So I'm gonna show y'all something y'all didn't see. So y'all probably think I've never had a discussion with Captain Katazat. That's what some of y'all think. Boss, all he does is debate the weaklings. All right, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see if Katazat can get on here. He actually got on here twice, by the way. So the first time I took it real easy on him. The second time I was a little more aggressive. All right. So let's see how your boy Katazat looks when he's faced with Swazi. All right. Damn, I didn't even name the video. I hate when I do that. Oh my God, which video is it? Oh, actually, it was a quick one. So it would have to be a short video because it wasn't long at all. It would have to be like 50 minutes, if that. The first one was like a couple hours. Okay, so this might be it right here. It says 12 days. Let me see. All right. So that might be it. I'm just looking at my video seeing which one can possibly be that one. Because it was a short video. It definitely ain't that one. All right, so I got a feeling I clicked it. All right, so let's see. I gotta hurry up because I only got.
Sorry. What was that?
Nah. This ain't him. Hold on. This is somebody else. Shit. Hold on. Right. So give me a second. Let me a second. I get it. All right. So it could be this one. It could be this one. All right. It could be that one. All right. So let me look at these in front of me. The Israelite way, TIW. Okay. You have a YouTube?
Yes, sir. Yes,
you have a YouTube? All right, YouTube. This is another guy that said he was a leader of camp. This is embarrassing. If you see 53 minutes, that means it was a quick one. I actually felt bad for the brother.
And it says,
I clicked on him before. All right, let me see.
With privilege, because he had laid down with her before the actual ceremony in front of the people.
Yeah, that's what I asked you. I said, do you believe that they had sex before the feast? And you said something else. Okay, so you.
I believe.
Okay. All right.
I believe what's written.
Oh no, that's not him. Ah, shit. All right. So now let me check the 2 hour video. It might have been 2 hours. I thought it was a quick one, but it could be possibly 2 hours. So let me see. I'm bad with putting names, and I'll tell you why I don't put the name in there, because they be getting slick, and they will Google their name, or YouTube their name and say, "Oh man, we live," because one dude did that, and it's like, dude, what Okay, so I know why I can't see it. It's because I'm looking at this. I'm looking at what's currently as publicly accessible that you guys can see. It's not public accessible. I got it on private. So I got to click here. I got to go to here, right? And then I got to go here. And now this is going to have all the videos, even the ones that's private. Okay, so now once I click live, okay. So once I click live, you'll see it says public. It says unlisted. You see, it's not listed. You can't get this. So it's going to be unlisted. You got public, unlisted. So it's gonna be one of these videos. So y'all can't see these on my channel. You can only see the one that's public. So anything unlisted and private, you can't see. All right. So now this is private. See, you can't. I made it private because these are well-known names in Israel. I didn't want them to find out that their man got beat up, because then nobody will talk to me. So when I debate somebody, yeah, so when I debate with these guys, I keep it private. This might be it right here. Yeah, I gotta find my chart in a second.
I just found mine. I'm sure it was going dead.
Crazy. All right, let's see.
And he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever, and of his kingdom there should be no end. So now
no. So that's the dude from Believer's Way. All right, I know that voice. So okay, so that was okay. So let me just. Who's this then? Yeah, but you just expounded on it. And then when I asked you, so let me just type that in. The Believer shit. Okay, so these guys right here. All right. This is the guy I beat up.
You understand what you got put in?
Right there.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 5, verse 8. Servants have ruled over us. What? Servants have ruled over us. What? Servants have ruled over us. Who ruling over us?
Right, so now that guy read this.
Right now. Servants.
The one with the microphone?
Yeah. So that is this guy right here.
Skip. And it's verse 34. Then said Mary unto the angel, how shall this be?
All right, so that's that guy. All right, so he's out of here. All right, so let me go back to the videos. Damn, so how old was the one with Kataza? So was it this one? It could be this one. All right, let's check it out. I don't think it's this one. I think we talked longer than 30 minutes. Okay, so this was the guy for the other day, sis, the OG guy, right there, Israelite scribe. So that's how they beat it. And this guy's right here, the WFI St. Louis guys, I beat their ass too. All right. Okay, so these are the guys who are afraid to like do Zoom. So we just called on IG, like they're like very cowardly. All right. Okay. All right. At all as far as mother and son. That's just a quick chill. But
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, damn it. Oh my God. That ain't it. I screwed up. I didn't give it a name. Oh, okay. Here we are. Hey, it's right here. You see that?
Hold on just a minute.
What that say, family, right there? What does that say? Y'all never heard this before.
Captain Tazar of ISUPK.
That's right. Look, I circle who he is. That's Captain Zaryak, and that's his boy. Ain't that him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, watch this.
For me, I just want to know, based off this argument, are we following?
So verse 7, real fast, just to get context, it says
that this Old Testament prophecy is concerning Christ.
All right, so that's your boy Captain Kataza from ISPK.
And it is. So anyone trying to make it anything else is adding to the word.
All right.
Because once again, the evidence is Was Solomon's kingdom forever?
No.
Solomon's kingdom split. He lost the kingdom. Will Christ's kingdoms be forever?
Yeah.
So this prophecy is concerning who?
Both of them.
I agree. But if it's concerning both of them, then guess what? They both have to come from the bowels and the loins.
No. Yeah, how the hell Jesus Christ would come from David bowel? One person fulfills one part. One person fulfills one part, and doesn't other person fulfill. So let me just read. So if we go to 1 Kings, so everybody go to 1 Kings. So this is when I buried him. Go to chapter 8. Okay. So come on, really? You gonna do that to me?
You're helping my argument.
Well, they all say that until I start reading. Okay, so 1 Kings chapter 8.
Good comeback.
These guys be hilarious. Let's go to. Let's get some context. Let's go to 15, and I'll read quick. So I want to get to where I gotta go. And he said, "Blessed be the Lord of God of Israel, which spake with his mouth unto David my father." My father. Who we talking about here? Talking about Solomon. And hath with his hand fulfilled it, saying, this is Solomon. Since the day that I brought forth my people Israel out, people Israel out of Egypt, I chose no city out of all the tribes of Israel to build an house, that my name might be therein. But I chose David to be over my people Israel. 17, and it was in the heart of David, my father. This is King Solomon talking. It was in the heart of David, my father, to build an house for the name of the Lord God of Israel. Verse 18, and the Lord said unto David, my father, where it was in thy heart to build an house unto my name, thou didst well. That was in thine heart. Nevertheless, thou shalt not build the house, but your son, that shall come forth out of your loins. Acts 2:30. Your son, who comes out of your loins, he shall build a house unto my name. Verse 20. And the Lord has performed his word that he spake. And I, King Solomon, has risen up in the room of David my father, and sit on the throne of Israel, as the Lord promised. And I have built an house for the name of the Lord God of Israel. And just two more verses, and you can have just two more verses to establish where I'm going here. Okay. So just two more, that's it. So we go to 1 Kings chapter 2. I'll wait for you guys. Chapter 2, verse 12. No, I'm sorry. Chapter 2, verse 10. So David, this is the prophecy, David slept with his fathers and was buried in the city of David. And the days that David reigned over Israel were 40 years. Interesting. That's how long Solomon reigned. 7 years reigned he in Hebron, and 30 and 33 reigned he in Jerusalem. Then Solomon sat upon the throne of David his father, and his kingdom was established greatly. That was a prophet. He said, I was established. He said, God said, I was established your throne and your kingdom. And it says right here, his throne, he sat in the seat of his dad. He came out the loins, and the kingdom was established greatly. And one last verse, and you can go. One last verse. So now, just bump up to chapter 9. Watch this. What's this right here? Watch this. I'll go for verse 1. And it came to pass when Solomon had finished the building of the house of the Lord, because he did say the prophecy was he's going to build a house for God. And he didn't want David to do it, so your son going to do it. And guess what? And it came to pass when Solomon had finished building the house of the Lord and the king's house, and Solomon's desire, which he was pleased to do. that the Lord appeared to Solomon the second time as he had appeared unto him at Gideon. Okay? Verse 3 is going to kill him. So now, I just want to point out we're talking about Solomon. Okay, and then verse 5 says, then I will... Oh, no, it's verse 5. So now, look what is told. Look what Solomon said about the throne. The throne... Okay, and then verse 5 says, then I will establish the throne, God's talking to Solomon, then I will establish the throne of thy kingdom upon Israel forever, Solomon. I'm talking to you, Solomon. I will establish your throne of thy kingdom upon forever, as I promised to David thy father, saying, there shall not fail thee a man upon the throne of Israel. Brother, that was already fulfilled through Solomon. No further questions, Your Honor.
I mean, nobody was asking you any questions, but okay. So now.
Yeah, he didn't even get the joke. I said, Your Honor.
Let's go back. And now let's really talk about this.
Yeah.
We go. You got to remember, I remember every scripture you pulled last time. This is where you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. Okay. So before we move there, let's go back to Romans 2. So unless you're saying that this is a lie, we have to find out how this applies to Christ then. Because remember, inside of that chapter, it specifically brings up his seed. It specifically brings up his flesh. And nowhere is adoption mentioned in anything that you've read. So when we read inside of, hold on, I went to Romans. I meant to go to Acts. When we read inside of Acts and we go to verse 30, therefore, being a prophet and knowing that God had sworn an oath to him that the fruit of his loins, which once again, you said is physical genitalia, what comes out of the fruit, sperm, according to the flesh, he would raise up Christ.
Okay, so the brother keeps saying sperm. The Bible doesn't say sperm. So this is the only way it could be right. Is they got to add to the Bible. But then he'll say, I'm the one adding. It's like, dude, what translation have you ever read the word sperm? So, I mean, you could go to any translated Bible, anywhere. Even the Mormon's Bible. Like, the word sperm is not in nobody's Bible. So if it's not there, brother, why are we saying sperm? You know, that's like, you know, can you imagine when the Bible says dogs? And instead of saying dogs, we say pit bulls. We be like, yeah, and the pit bulls ate the bread. We like, where you get pit bulls? I mean, that would confuse readers. Like, yeah, where you read pit bulls?
Right.
Oh, nah, that, you know, we be like, nah, I don't accept that. Don't say it. But he keeps saying sperm. Like, dude, where the word sperm is at?
Sit on his throne. And now, the last time we spoke, we went to Romans. I went to Romans directly, right? And when I went to Romans, I read Romans 1 and 3, when it says, concerning his son Jesus Christ our Lord, which was made of the seed of David according to the flesh.
Can you turn it up some, if you can?
Okay.
It's kind of low.
And not show me anywhere in anything that you pulled
back it up.
where this would be
back it up.
Romans directly, right? We spoke. We went to Romans. I went to Romans directly, right?
Oh, Romans.
And when I went to Romans, I read Romans 1 and 3.
Oh.
When it says, concerning his son Jesus Christ our Lord, which was made of the seed of David according to the flesh.
Right.
You still cannot show me anywhere in anything that you pulled where this would be adoption. Everything is talking about contextually literal seed. Everything contextually is talking about from out the bowels. Even
when the Bible says seed is actually the actual word seed is a seed from a plant. Metaphorically, it's talking about other things, but literally, is actually talking about a seed, right? So when you say the word seed, you're talking about a plant, right? That could give birth to, I mean, not birth, but it could like bring up crops. You dig? Oranges, like that's what a seed does. Like humans don't have seeds. We have other things inside of us. Women have eggs, ovaries, and men have sperm, but we don't have seeds. So seed was used as a allegory to represent birth, as for human beings. So literally, it really means seed. Figuratively, allegorically, metaphorically, it can mean something else. So the brother just don't know that.
The scripture that you pulled in Luke when it says he shall sit, and you didn't want to read it last time. You stopped right before you finished the verse when it said that he would sit on the throne of his father David. You also then from there went to Revelations 22 and 16. Because remember, we were talking about what? David's offspring, Solomon. But what does Christ say about Solomon concerning himself? I, Jesus, this is verse 16, the verse you went to last time. I, Jesus, have sent mine angels to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and offspring of David and the bright and morning star. So when we look at everything, offspring is direct descendant. Seed and flesh are physical. Out of the bowels, it all points towards Christ. Now, Solomon's kingdom wasn't forever. Christ is fulfilling this. But guess what? That means he has to fulfill everything else that comes with it. And there's nothing inside any of those prophecies concerning adoption. That's something you kept adding last time. So, since everything's not pointing towards adoption, since we see according to seed, which that word is sperma, and we see everything is fruit of thy loins, I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked last time.
So this is their little thing they do. And you see the last brother from Believer's Way. Says they ask a question, you actually answer it. Okay, hold on. Yeah, so it says, I actually agree. So if you look at so the only chapters, right, that speaks of the virgin birth, if you could just try to off your memory, what are the only two chapters in the Bible that talks about a virgin birth?
Only two chapters in the Bible?
Yeah. And if you could think of them, what would you think they would be?
Isaiah? I'm not sure.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. What prophesies? I'm talking about the actual fulfillment of it. They're the New Testament. There's only two chapters. Two books, two chapters.
Is that Luke and Matthew?
Yeah. So Isaiah prophesied it, but you find it in the fulfillment in Matthew's and Luke 1. So let me see if the caller agree. Caller, do you agree that you only find a fulfillment of the virgin birth in two books? You don't probably know. Okay, yeah. So it's in Matthew's 1 and Luke 1. Right. So anywhere else you read, it won't be talking about the virgin birth. It'll be talking about other things that may be corroborated or supported or go against it, right? But you can only read it whether you accept it or reject it, you could only read it in Matthew 1 and Luke 1. That's it. So it's an easy discussion to have because both of you know that you only could read 2 books in the first chapter of both books. So the question would be then why is there confusion, right? It's not like we're looking at a whole bunch of precepts here. Just Luke 1, Matthew 1. And the prophecy is in what you just said, Isaiah. So I'm going to read the prophecy. Hold on. I'm going to read the prophecy. Isaiah. All right. So it was prophesied in the Old Testament. All right, let me get my charger before I get my charger. All right. Hopefully this is it right here. Okay. So, this is a good topic, because it's just a good topic because like so much is revealed from this one topic. Hold on a second. Okay, so when you look at Islam, right? So Islam have their own so-called Bible. And although Islam is different from the Bible, that doesn't mean everything they say about some of the characters in the Bible is wrong, right? For example, like they got Jesus as like Superman in the Quran. Like Jesus, like literally Superman in the Quran. So they don't have him as inferior. They got him as superior over all mankind. So we can't say because Islam is false, everything said by Jesus is false. And also in the Quran, they got Mary a virgin giving birth to Jesus. So you got the Immaculate Conception there, right? So just because the religion itself can't hold up, it doesn't mean the things they said about people in the Bible is wrong. So I said to say with the Catholic Church, like some of their stuff could be off, but they are reading the Bible, so they're going to get something right. Like you don't think they're going to get one thing right? So if they say Adam and Eve had 3 sons, like by name, are they wrong? Like they're right about that, but that don't mean everything they say is right, but that part is right. Adam and Eve had Cain and Abel and Seth by name. And I believe the Catholics say that. So we kind of get it twisted. We think because they're not in the truth that everything they say is false. That's the furthest from the truth. Now they might believe in Christmas, they might believe in Easter, all those other things, and that might not be correct, but that doesn't mean everything they say is false. Because I believe they say Jesus is the Messiah. So are they wrong when they say that?
No.
Right. I recall them saying Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt. So that's not wrong. I recall them saying a lot of things we agree with. They agree that Apostle Paul did great things. They agree that John the Baptist was a forerunner for Jesus. You know, so like everything that we pretty much Ezekiel, everything we pretty much read, like they, you know, Ezekiel. I haven't read that book in a while. It's funny I mentioned it. I haven't read that in a while. I think I gotta read that book. But the last time I tried to read it, it was kind of like, at least from the King James translation, it was kind of like tricky to read. So I gotta use my translation Bible to read that stuff. It's like really tricky. The language that it's using, real tricky. Yeah. So just because they say that the order is the Catholic Church, just because they say the order is the Father, the Son, man, woman, and child, that doesn't mean it's false, right? So we have to like rightly divide the word of God and determine what are they saying is false and what are they saying is true. But when I hear brothers say everything they say is false, I'm like, dude, are you sure? Are you sure you believe what you're saying? So when they say Christ is Messiah, is that false?
No.
Right. So everything they say ain't false. Because even the devil, like when he was talking to Eve in the garden, everything he said wasn't false. Right. So when Satan talks, when people lie to you, they gotta say the truth with the lie. If it's all out lie, then it's too easy to figure out. Like, dude, what you say? That's bullshit. Nah, I'm good. So you got to mix in truth with falsehood. So, okay, so I'm at Isaiah chapter 7, and I'm gonna read verse 14. So this is the prophecy you mentioned earlier. It says, "The Lord Himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin." Right there, it says, "A virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel." So we have a virgin who's going to conceive. All right. So now if we parallel that to Luke chapter 1, verse 26. You'll see it says, "And in the 6th month, the angel Gabriel was sent from God unto a city of Galilee named Nazareth." Now watch this. So the angel was sent from God to a city, Galilee named Nazareth. So the angel was sent by God. And the angel was sent to a virgin. So Isaiah 7:14 says a virgin shall conceive. And here we read in Luke that the angel is going to a virgin. This is confirmation of the prophecy, the fulfillment. It says this virgin is espoused to a man named Joseph of the house of David, and the virgin's birth name is Mary. Okay. That's it right there. So the dude called in to like peek and listen, because that was a brother that called in. He listened and he hung up. Now, these are guys who are leaders of camps. Like they call in because they want to go after the weak. Just like a gang leader, they go after the weak of society, not the smartest, the weak, because they use everybody's pawns, either to give them money or to do some harm to somebody or to live off, right? Whatever the reason is, only a pawn is going to do those things for you, not somebody educated and well respected. They're going to be like, hell no, I ain't doing that. So they call in, they get quiet, they listen to the topic, and they say, okay, I don't know. The brother sound like he might give pushback. Yeah, I think I'm gonna sit this one out. And they hang up. All right. So let me play a little more. Yeah. Hold on. I was trying to bait him. I was trying to bait him into discussion. But it was scary as hell. All right. So I told you, sis, you could think I'm playing. I was like, yeah, these guys are scared. He was quiet. He didn't even want to say anything. He was too scared to say, hey, my name is so-and-so. That is weird.
Then how was that prophecy fulfilled through Christ? If you're saying,
okay, so back to him. So he asked me a question. And it's like, dude, you asked the question. I answered it through the Bible. What's your next question? And he'll say, no, you didn't answer my question. I'm like, wait a minute. So what part of my answer wasn't to the question? So listen to this guy. So I realized, okay, that's their tactic. They say, you didn't answer the question. All right, bro. Hey, brother, if you are the judge and jury, right? Then yes, you're right. I never answered. But let the panel decide if I answered or not. Because of course, you my op. You won't give me credit.
He doesn't have a physical father because the scriptures is saying, according to his flesh, he's made of the sperm of David.
Yeah. So you add it again. It does not say he's from the sperm of David. That's conjecture. You added that there, but it's okay. I forget.
No, I did.
Okay, so why do you think
that word sperma is Greek or
not? Sperma is Greek, but
so what it said in Romans 1 is that word sperma or not?
It's not.
So in Romans 1 and 3, it's not sperma?
It's not sperma.
Let's go look at it.
All right. So it says, I baited him to go to the blue letter. All right. Yeah, these guys, I'm telling you, I think all of the Israelites, every last one of them, are stupid when it comes to the blue letter. They all mess up. And listen to this fool. Okay.
I'm going to open up my blue letter Bible.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Oh, so you do blue letter now, brother? I didn't know that. So why didn't you go there before? Like, if we're having a debate, why would you pick it now? So I told you, sis, I always let them go first. I never go to, I can't say never, but I would say most time than none, they're going to go to the blue letter Bible first. Do you read Greek, by the way?
I'm going to pull up the lexicon. Romans chapter 1, verse 3, interlinear concordance. Right. We're going to drop down to seed, and it says sperma.
Oh, shit. I didn't mean to do that. I hate this shit, man. I hate this. I didn't mean to click. I went to just pause it, and my mouse was near the damn bar. All right, so let me go back. Oh, boy. Let me see if I can find it. I did not. That's some weird shit. And I didn't even look at the timestamp in case something like this happens. So I think it's over here somewhere. Okay, we're here. All right, it says, now I showed you how to use blue letter, right? Okay, what's in
Romans chapter 1,
so now
verse 3, interlinear concordance. Right. We're going to drop down to seed, and it says sperma.
So it says, remember I told you about those 3 words? So I said the bottom is the Latin word, and right above it is the Greek word. I said those 2 are the root. When you have a third word on top of them, that's the actual word in the verse, not the 2 on the bottom. So he's reading sperma, and he's too stupid to understand that this is just the root. The inflected word is the word that's being used. That's the top.
It says G seed, and it says sperma. It says G4690. A minute ago, you just said this word is not sperma.
It's not.
I just said it is sperma. clearly
wrong.
it is sperma.
No, it's not.
So are you saying that this lexicon is lying?
No, I'm saying you're reading it wrong.
How am I reading it wrong when that's directly what it says inside the blue letter I just went to?
Okay, so are you looking at where it says the seed? Watch this.
I'm in Romans chapter 1, verse 3, and you just said not sperma. I'm reading it. It said sperma.
No. If you click on it, right? If you go to tools and click on it, and you go to, in the English on the left side, it says the seed. And then on the right of it, it says G4690. And then on the right, there's three words. Do you see those three words?
Looking at them.
Okay, so you got one that's in Greek. English, and you got two in Greek. It's Latin. Okay, so now the bottom says sperma, and the one above it says sperma. But the one above that, what does that say? All right, so now I was being funny, sis. I know you can't read Greek. So I said the one above it says what?
I'm not there with you. I clicked on it to say sperma because that's what it says. It says sperma.
No, that's what it says. That's not what it is. I want you to look at it yourself.
Then why is sperma there?
Well, after you look at it, I'm going to tell you. So look, again, they back asking me questions. It's funny. They ask me questions and I'll just teach. But they're the teachers, right? So don't teachers teach and don't students ask questions? So every time I talk to these guys, they always ask me the questions. And that goes back to Jesus, when he was debating these guys and when he was in the temples teaching, weren't they asking him questions? It's like, the teacher teach. The student asks questions. So it's like, dude, if we're having a debate, you should be teaching like I'm teaching. We both should be teaching. But now you're asking me, why is sperma there? Because you don't know, obviously, right?
All right.
Okay. Well, he's gonna learn today. Do you see the three words?
Waiting.
Not waiting for you to go back.
I'm waiting for you to explain it.
Okay. That's why I asked you, do you read Greek? So in all the words, you're going to click on the pronunciation. It's going to give you the nominative case. So they call it the vocabulary word of your English language. All right, that's it. So they're not going to pronounce every inflection. So the actual word, so sperma is the root. But the actual word in Romans 1 and 3 is the word up top. That's spermatas.
I see it.
Right. That's the word. Now, if you go. I'm talking on mute. So he says, I see it. I see, says the blind man. So now you can see all of a sudden, but you just said it says sperma. And you said, is the lexicon lying? I said, nah, you're just reading it wrong. Like, that was my claim. I said, no, you're just reading it wrong. And then I said, yeah, if you click the pronunciation, it's going to say sperma. But that's not the word in the actual Greek. The actual word in the context is spermatas. Go back to, now go scroll up to the text of Receptus, and you'll see the word spermatas right before David. So if you go to look at David, the triangle is a D, by the way. That's why I asked you, do you read Greek? Because I do. So if you go right before, right.
I can see it clear as day, and that's not negating my point at all.
Right. Well, I did. Well, your point was it says sperma. That was your point. And I said it didn't, and you challenged me, and you went to blue letter. So brother, that was actually your point. Your point was sperma was there. I said, no, it's not. Just like we can't say pit bull is there for dogs. It's not. It just say dogs. Okay. I said it does not say sperma. It says spermatas. Big difference.
It's not a big difference because even in the root, and I'll tell you why. Because when you go and look at the context, once again, earlier you said that bowels and loins is the what?
It comes from a man or woman, both, but it comes from a person.
But we weren't talking about a woman. So why would you bring a woman if we're talking about a man?
I wanted to clarify because you said bowels come from what? I said a man, and I want to establish a woman, but we're talking about a man. All right, so sis, like these dudes don't like clarification. Like they don't like it. So he said bowels, loins, and he was thinking like genitals. So I corrected him. I said, well, it can't mean that because the Bible talk about women having bowels and genitals. I'm sorry, bowels and loins too. So that's why I pointed that out. And then he gets retarded and act like he don't know what I was saying. I'm like, dude, why are you saying bowels and loins means something that only men have when I can show you women having bowels and loins in the Bible?
All right.
Yeah, so man, you're right.
But,
we're talking about a man.
Okay, but why don't you? So why then would you try to be deceitful and move to a woman if we're talking about a man?
So you see the language, deceitful, deceitful. Like that's the word you want. We're debating. You're saying deceit, and I'm correcting you that bowels and loins are. So basically, I'm not going to. If we're debating, sis, I have to establish you're wrong if you make an absolute statement. If you're saying men only have bowels and loins, I have to correct you. If not, if I don't correct you, that means I agree.
Right.
That's why in court they say objection. So when somebody say objection in court, he's not being deceitful. She's not being deceitful. She's saying, I don't agree with that. That tactic, I think is bullshit. So I'm saying when you say bowels and loins only come from men, I said, bro, that's false because women also have bowels and loins in the Bible. So he calls that being deceitful. Like, dude, that's called edification. If you didn't know that, that's okay. Now you know. No.
I think you're a little bit more intelligent than that, brother.
Right, of course. So now let me respond to.
So if you're a little bit more intelligent than that, then why don't you stay right with me? Because when you go and you look, it's going to give you the context. So once again, now you didn't answer my question. If we're talking about a man and the loins,
you always say I don't answer the question. I'm going to answer like 30 times.
And bowels would be what? You said it earlier. Fill in the blank.
That would be the man. I think genital parts. Come here.
So when we're talking about the seed of a man's genital parts, that's the sperm, which is why it happens to say sperma in the root. Yes.
No, I disagree.
When you talk about the seed that comes out of a man's bowels, that's sperm. That's the seed of a man.
So when it talks about things come out the woman's bowels and loins, that also sperm? Huh.
We're not talking about a woman. Why do you keep bringing up a woman if we're bringing up David? You eliminated Mary earlier. If you didn't eliminate Mary, then you can talk about women. We're talking about a man right now.
Okay, can I respond or no?
I mean, you can respond, like, and this is what I mean. Like the last time, and this is very disingenuous of you, because the last time I spoke to you, I kept showing you and proving to you that this had nothing to do with adoption, and you kept bringing up adoption. Now we're.
When did he ever prove this on that? When did he ever prove that? Like, this dude is making up his own mind. Like, dude, brother, if I prove that you don't accept it, I'm cool with that. But you're crazy to say that wasn't established. You're out your goddamn mind.
We're talking about men, and you want to move to women. Why can't you ever focus on what I'm saying?
No, I'm not moving to women. I was establishing a fact that men, according to the Bible, men and women have loins and bowels. So now let me address what you said. So seed does not mean sperm. So if you guys can go to, and I'm gonna address Revelations in a second. If you guys can go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
If you guys can go to, do you read the Apocrypha?
Yeah, I read the Apocrypha.
Okay. So everybody go, well, you probably don't have this. So everybody, you got to go to a King James 1611 Bible, right? Or just Google the Apocrypha or whatever. You probably don't got one. Okay, so I want you and everybody to go to I want you and everybody to go to 2nd Ezra. Because you think seed means sperm. Okay. No problem. Watch this. So I want everybody to go to 2nd Ezra, chapter 3, verses 19. I'm going to read.
Does not help your argument at all.
And thy glory went through 4 gates of fire and of earthquake, and of wind, and of cold, that thou mightst givest the law unto the sperm of Jacob, and diligence unto the generation of Israel. So he's going to give the law to the sperm of Jacob. So as we see, seed just means offspring or a child.
Right.
It does not mean sperm, not in the blue letter, not in any lexicon by itself. So if you read the definition of seed, you will see what it says. That's why I asked you, do you read Greek? I do. Okay, so he's not giving the law to sperm. He's giving the law to people. And now, I got two more. If y'all lose that and go to, let me see, let me get a good one. Okay, go to Numbers. This is a good one. Oh, shit. I want you guys to go to Numbers, chapter 14. Numbers. Say that again?
No, I was looking for my pen because I was trying to flip through my Bible.
Okay.
I'm doing like 3 things at once
Chapter
right now.
14, okay. You sound like me.
I'm trying to finish my paper and I'm following along.
I'm just waiting for you to finish so we can go back and read the definition of sperma so you can sound like an idiot.
Yeah. Of course. They call me idiot. Listen, be careful because I read Greek, all right? All right.
Not well enough, apparently.
We'll see. So when you go to Numbers chapter 24, chapter 14, verse 24, it says, but my servant Caleb, because he has another spirit with him and hath followed me fully, him I will bring into the land whereunto he went, and his sperm shall possess it. It's talking about his offspring. And just one last one, and we'll go to where you want to go. So I'm being funny when I say his sperm shall possess it. So, you know, I'm showing them how stupid this sounds. Okay. Let's go to Acts. This is how you rightfully divide the word of truth. Okay, so let's go to Acts chapter 7. Last example. And then we'll read the definition correctly of sperm, because I have a huge advantage because I actually read Greek. So Acts chapter 7, verse 6. And God spake unto this wise, that his sperm should sojourn in a strange land, and that they should bring this sperm into bondage, and entreat them evil for 400 years. So his sperm is going to sojourn in a strange land, and then go into bondage and being treated evilly for 400 years. As you see that.
Did you read that in the KJV, those last 3 verses?
The last 3 verses?
Like the last 3 verses that you went to, Numbers, here, and before. Did you read all that in the KJV?
Yeah. So I went to 2nd Ezra, chapter 3.
I'm talking about Numbers and the last verse that you just read. You read both of those in the KJV.
Yeah, KJV, right.
Can you do the blue letter so we can see what word was used?
Okay, so I'll wait for him to do that.
You wait for me to do what?
The blue letter, or am I going to read it?
Oh, talking about this word sperma, that the second definition says the semen viral, the product of this semen, seed, child, offspring.
Okay, why did he say second definition? You see, what the hell is wrong with you? Second definition. So now I'm actually showing you. I'm showing the chat. I'm showing future viewers. I'm showing you my Microsoft Word. This is not YouTube. This is not Google. This is not Blue Letter. I'm showing you what I already have, waiting for people like him. Okay, so he skipped A. A says from a plant from which a plant germinates, and it says properly the seed, the grain, or kernel. Okay, That's what that's what sperm is. That's what sperm is. It's plant.
Spring progeny.
Yeah, no problem. So the thing is, what you should never do in a disagreement is to freestyle or wing it. You should already be prepared so you won't make that mistake. So now, before we go to the second definition, let's go to the first definition.
Just so you know, not only do I also find that hypocritical because all you did is freestyle the last time we talked. I have this argument.
Everything's formatted.
It wasn't, because last time you were like, I'm Googling right now.
Okay, so sis, I never Googled. I said that to make them feel confident talking to me. Because what happens is, the more prepared I sound, the more these guys get insecure. So I know how to play chess with these guys. They have egos. So I gotta act like I'm Googling. I gotta act like I'm not sure of what I'm reading. And that's what, I give like a no ego type of personality, where I'm just humble, so they won't feel threatened. So I don't come off as cocky until like late. So I use that to make them believe I'm Googling. Everything I ever talk about is on Microsoft Word. Everything. and you're looking at something right now. Microsoft Word. You're looking at it. It says it.
Googling right now and looking up and
yeah,
what I found. You were freestyling. So just so you know, right? Here's something else you know. One, this wasn't like a predetermined debate. You know what I'm saying? I am for sure freestyling because I have this conversation 2 to 3 times a week with Christian.
Okay, then you must don't do well. I was waiting for you, by the way. I was praying, guys.
I'm sure you were, because you got your feelings hurt last time we talked. But as far as where we're at,
and I'll play the first one. I have no idea what he's talking about. Like it was the same. I was just more nice. I'll say that. I was more nice. Like now I'm more like kind of combative, sarcastic. But the first one I was like more humble and nice on purpose. I was trying to like, be a good host. One time abuse my platform like they do. If you go to their platform, they cut you off, they play sound effects, like they abuse their power. I try to be courteous. Try to say, what, let me, just act like nobody's the host. Like we're both just even, like you at home.
Now, the reason why I keep bringing this up and putting the emphasis is because even in this definition, not only does it say the semen viral, but it says, continuing, the product of this semen, which is why I say this seed is the seed that came out of his bowels. And I'm staying right here and focused on my argument, because if the prophecy says out of his bowels, it's a literal child, offspring, progeny. And there is no room for adoption. And all you're doing is trying to argue with me over the word seed, but you still haven't answered the question from last time or tonight, where you show how that was fulfilled. Instead, you're trying to play semantics by running to words, and I haven't seen sperm in the version that you read. So even with where we're at right now, the context all shows that Christ had to come out of David's bowels, literally, from generation to generation.
Oh, wow.
Otherwise, it would not fit him. And you've yet to show me another context.
All right, so let's first rightfully divide seed the correct way. And that's why I said, if I freestyle, I'm more like Redman, like I wrote it. If you freestyle, it's going to be like, I don't know, it's going to be like Warren G or somebody. All right, so now, if you look into the... if I should have said Soldier Boy, he'd have been pissed off.
So now, I want you to answer my question.
So let me respond. So now, it tells you...
you can respond. Answer my question first.
Yeah, look, that's all they say. That's all they do. Ask my question. That's all they do. It's like some weird tactic. Answer my question. That's what responding means. I'm responding to your question. I will. But let me just answer the.
No. answer my because like here's the problem, right?
Which question? You said a bunch of things. Which question can I answer first?
Listen, last time I talked to you for 2 hours.
Right.
This time I've been on the shoot for 1 hour and 6 minutes.
That
For
long?
the last 35 minutes, I have been waiting for you to answer my question. So now if we add both of this together, that's 2.5 hours that you still haven't answered my question.
Okay, so now let me just reiterate and then catch you up to this definition of seed. So I did answer your question. When it says out of his bowels, we read Solomon himself said, I came out of your bowels, I fulfilled the Lord's promise to you. We read that
Clearly,
verbatim.
I didn't ask you for Solomon. Clearly, I asked you the last time and this time how it
He
applies
missed it.
to Christ, and you still haven't done that.
If you let me continue, I will get there. But the bowel part was already fulfilled through Solomon. He said himself, it's in the Bible. Okay.
You have 2 minutes before you concede this argument.
Okay, fine. So then the forever part, obviously Jesus fulfilled it because like King David, Solomon only reigned for 40 years. But the bowel part, the loins part, it literally says Solomon, and which we know because David can't have Jesus some hundreds, thousand years later as his boy. But when you go to the Thayer's lexicon on semen, it gives you the examples. We're talking about semen. If you click on Leviticus 15 and 16, it says seed of copulation. So it does not say seed by himself. It says seed of copulation. Okay, so let's first establish that. It does not say seed by itself. It says seed of copulation. And then if we go to Leviticus 18:20, this talks about laying with man carnally. So again, it's like laying with carnally, sex, semen. And then Hebrews 11:20, she shall conceive seed. That's it. It stops there, and then it jumps down, and then it says.
Yes. Yeah, so this is Captain. This is Kaptazar. This was 3 weeks ago. This is Kaptazar ISPK. He was so easy. Which the ISPK I debated Tazariak too. They're easy. I debated both of them at the same time. They're very easy. You know, these guys are terrible when it comes to blue letter. Yeah, this is Captain Kaptazar.
So in the singular sense, either one or collectively of many. So it's talking about people, as I kept reading, people shall sojourn, people shall do this, people shall do that. Okay, and then guess what they got here? They got Romans 1:3 as the example of people, progeny, offspring, everything. Right here, we're reading it. Children, it says it. Seed, okay, this is a metonymy, right? This is a metonym, which means that it is called something to represent something. It's different than a metaphor. So seed, children, offspring, progeny, family, race, posterity.
And that's embarrassing because it says seed and it's telling you what it means when it says seed in this context. It's saying it means children, offspring, progeny, family, race, prosperity. So it goes back to my point, dude. When you read the seed of David, it's not saying sperm. It's saying the offspring of David, the children of David, the progeny of David, the family of David, the race of David, the posterity of David. No sperm. See, you keep adding sperm there, and sperm is not used in this context. Leviticus 15:16. It shows you the verses where seed is used as sperm. It says seed copulation.
This is what is called by seed, and it gave the examples. It says, so in the singular, either of one or collectively of many. And Romans 1:3 is in this example. It's not in the semen example, by the way. So now, I probably got 40 seconds left from your time. So then we go to Matthew 1:16. It says, and Jacob begot Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Jesus, who is called the Christ. This is the lineage of Joseph. And Joseph is just a son of Jacob. He's
not going to have no argument against. I said they all lose. They all lose the debate 1:16. He's not going to challenge me at all on 1:16 where I said Joseph had no boys.
Husband of Mary. That's it. No kids.
Let me go back.
It says Jacob begot Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Jesus, who is called the Christ. This is the lineage of Joseph. And Joseph is just a son of Jacob. He's a husband of Mary. That's it. No kids. It says Mary, of whom was born Jesus, who is called the Christ. And verse 18 says the same thing. It says, now the birth of Jesus Christ was on his wise, when as his mother Mary was espoused to Joseph. See, they just married. That's it. But his mother Mary, though. See, he has a mother, but Joseph is just that guy. Before they came together, she was found with child of who? The Holy Ghost, not Joseph. So in Joseph's own genealogy, he has no kids. So we're only faced with adoption. Mary's gone. She's a Levite. He ain't tribe of Judah from her. And Joseph gone. He has no kids. He begot nobody in his own. Every man here, every man in Matthew 1 begot somebody. Every last man except for Joseph. There is no begot to Joseph's name. Now that's undeniable. You can't refute that. Okay, so now that's it. So we got Solomon fulfilling the bowel loins thing. We got seed is not sperm in the context of Romans 1 and 3. It says David's lineage. Now, matter of fact, let me just tackle that real fast.
All right, and now not only did I give you time, this is what I'm going to do, right? One,
I need 30 more seconds.
When you want to read that, no, because you're disingenuous. Because when you read the definition, you read seed, child, offspring, progeny. Why didn't you read when it says the product of this semen? Why didn't you read when it says the semen viral? Why did you leave that out since you know Greek so much and since you were reading? Because you're disingenuous. Secondly, to anyone, hold on, to anyone who's been listening, did he answer my question, yes or no? I just, to anyone else that's been witnessing this.
Well, I would say this. I think the point that he's making that you're missing is those meanings don't apply to every verse or every instance where it's used. They break out what verses apply to which context. So the semen viral applies specifically to specific verses. And in other verses, it means the progeny or offspring, and they highlight when it means that.
Okay, nobody's asking if that's what he meant. I grasp that part. Did he answer how that portion of the prophecy was fulfilled through Christ? Did he answer my question or not?
That's what I'm waiting for.
Well, his argument is that the physical bowel part is not fulfilled through Christ. The reign forever part is fulfilled through Christ, and the physical bowel part was fulfilled with Solomon.
Okay,
so
the problem that you run into with that is that here we see that it says, according to the seed of David, Christ's flesh was made from his seed. And then also you see that the flesh is also mentioned inside of Acts. So what he's saying is absolutely null and void. So I keep asking, can you show me how it was fulfilled then?
All right, so now let me deal with the flesh part.
Adoption. Now, hold on. Now she's stating that hold on. Someone else said something. Someone else, you said you're waiting for what?
Mic check. Yeah, I'm still waiting for him to respond directly to your question. He had 30 seconds, so I wanted to see where he was going to go with it. But I was still waiting.
Okay.
So let me get 30 more seconds.
That he has not responded directly to my question.
Well, if you give me a shot clock, give me 30 more seconds. That's all I asked for.
Oh, okay, so in the 30 more seconds, you're gonna actually answer me.
Well, I'm gonna finish the answer entirely. Okay. So if we go back to Romans, that means yes. That means yes. So we go back to
just
Romans.
Make sure you answer his question. Don't elaborate on something else. Okay. So Romans 1, so let's deal with the flesh part. Romans 1 and 3. So I think the emphasis is on the wrong thing. He's trying to put emphasis on seed. It's not on seed. It's on how Christ was made. So it says concerning his son, Jesus Christ, our Lord, which was made. That's the important part, not the seed part, because we know that just means lineage, progeny, offspring, descendants of David. And if you do a Bible, a parallel Bibles, you're gonna see family line, descendants. You're gonna see all that type of stuff. You're not gonna read sperm in any one of them. Okay, so the focal point is which was made. He was made. Okay, he was made, and then he had to fulfill the seed part. Now look, let's go to John, just 2 more verses. John 1 and 14. So remember, the emphasis on made, not the lineage, because that's obvious. And the word was made flesh. How you make somebody flesh? And so the word that was in the beginning, you know, John 1:1. In the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. Well, that word was made flesh. Just means it came in a human form. Okay, and it dwelt among us, and behold, we beheld his glory, the glory of God, the only begotten of the Father, not Joseph, full of grace and truth. And then lastly, I'm gonna go to 1 John, and this is just gonna seal the deal right here. I'm gonna go to 1 John. Okay, I got 15 seconds left. Okay, 1 John 5:10. Listen to this. He that believeth on the Son of God hath witness in himself. He that believeth not God hath made him a liar, because he, okay, hold on. He that believeth not hath God made him. God made him. If you don't believe God made him, he that believeth of the Son of God hath witness in himself. He that believeth not God hath made him. The emphasis is on God making him is a liar, because he believeth not the record of God gave of his son. So the emphasis is not on the seed of David. The emphasis is God made him. He's not man-made. We read that Romans 1:3, your own verse, God made him. We read that in John 1:1, the word was made flesh, made. And then we read it right here in 1 John 5:10. The emphasis is on how God came into be. He was made flesh. And that was by God. It wasn't by man.
The emphasis is on how he's made, and he's made according to the seed of David. That's his flesh. If it was just the made, then seed of David would not be there. And this is how I know that there's no truth inside. And this is how I know that there's no truth inside of you. Because every time you read the definition again and again, you did not read the beginning of the definition when it says the semen viral, the product of this semen. Well, who are we talking about here? David. So this child would have to be the product of whose semen? David, in order to make his flesh. Right. It's telling you what his flesh is made of. So now I'm going to ask this again. Did anybody hear him answer my question directly?
So back to the question thing. All right. Hilarious.
Correctly.
So what was your question?
No, I'm not asking you the question again. I'm asking.
I have a question, and either one of you can answer it.
I don't care about your question right now because so now everyone wants to avoid both of my questions.
Well, I have a question for both of you because I noticed that according to the flesh was kind of like.
You can wait 1 second. You can wait.
Hello?
It germinates. Actually, I'm not reading it, but
I couldn't hear you. It went out. The sound it went out for a while.
So seed. So this was his grab, right? Because he was saying seed, sperm. I said it didn't. He said it did. So he went to blue earth first, right? He went to blue earth. He was wrong. Say spermatosis. And then we talked about what that meant. And then I said offspring, right? So and now he's complaining about the direction he chose.
Yeah, everybody. Every human.
Did anyone else hear him answer my question directly? A lot of crickets.
How many questions did you ask? You asked one. You asked a bunch of them.
I asked. This is the questions that I asked.
Yep.
I asked you one question. And I asked you the same question for over an hour the last time we spoke.
What's the question?
And now another brother unmuted before you went on your last 30 seconds and said, you did not answer him directly. Can you do that now? So
What's
now that he spewed more nonsense, skipped over another definition, did anyone hear him answer my question directly?
What is the question? Because you asked a bunch of them. What's the question?
I'm not, that question isn't for you. That question is for anyone else who is listening.
All right.
He's getting angry.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what happens. You see my personality, my tone, very respectful and brotherly. This dude is getting angry because he knew what sperm and seed meant, and he didn't. And I'm showing him, dude, you can't. So this is the mistake he did. So he went to Blue Letter and he only looked for semen. He said seed, it means semen, but he skipped every other definition of sperm or seed. He's like, dude, that's confirmation bias. Like, you got.
You went out again.
Clearly don't want to answer, brother.
You can hear me? You can hear me just now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so I was just saying, the brother is confused on seed. Like, he went to Blue Letter, he looked for anything with sperm. Right? And he ran off with that, and he did not look at just all of it all together.
Right.
Because had he done that, he would see the first definition is what you're looking at right now. It says, well, I showed the first definition already. So seed is from a plant or a fruit. It's something you plant in the ground that's totally independent from human beings.
Brother, you still there?
Yeah, I'm right here. And just to be aware, this is over my head, but I'm still lost on since he excluded Mary from it, I thought we were supposed to be trying to find the lineage from Joseph, and I'm not sure. You said that he did leave out some parts, so I'm wondering if what he left out was what you were getting at. But I don't know
what he left out in the definition was when it says.
I don't answer people that don't care about my questions personally.
I'll come back to your question, right? But the difference is that he was the only one who actually was answering.
They got little respect for women, and you see, like, he snapped on her for no reason. Like, they got little respect for women.
A lot of them do.
Mine, or you cared about.
Yeah. And I don't know where that came from. It's like, dude, the angel highly respected Mary. This is interesting. It's just weird, some weird doctrine they got.
About was what you cared about. You didn't care about what I was asking. So therefore, I'm ignoring you for now and trying to get at least one of my questions.
I answered previously, but again, that didn't suffice for you.
No, you didn't answer. What you did was you expounded on his explanation rather than saying, you understand? Because once again, the brother before said he never answered you directly.
Well, his answer was according to the flesh, that someone else fulfilled the according to the flesh part as far as the quote unquote prophecy. He said that the reign forever piece was established by Christ. He said that early on. Now, whether or not he proved that is another argument altogether, but that's what I understood his answer to be.
Okay, and here's the thing. He didn't prove it. And I then rebutted what you said by bringing up Acts, the 2nd chapter, and then tying it in with Romans, the 1st chapter, because both of them bring up the bowels and the seed physically and associate it with Christ. If it would have said Solomon, I'd have no argument. But both of them have to do with Christ, which means it continues even to him. So, no, he didn't. Unless, once again, you're saying that they lied in Acts. Unless you're saying Acts 2 and 29 and through 30 is a lie. Now, if that's your stance, that's fine. I believe it. And what it does is it ties it to Christ, not to Solomon. So once again, he still didn't answer my question. And you are extremely disingenuous when it comes to reading that definition. It almost makes me not want to talk to you, bro. Because it's like every time you read the definition, you go to progeny, offspring, children. You never read the beginning of it. Because really you're trying to hide my argument. Because if you bring that into the light, and now you're interrupting me because you don't want me to shine the light on it.
We've been talking for 5 minutes.
That's what you're doing.
I get 30 seconds.
When I first came in here, bro, first of all, when I first came in here, you spoke for 20 minutes. 20 minutes. And then every time you go off on some tangent. And now I'm recapping everything that transpired. So I think I have a right to speak that long, considering I gave you that grace. And the only time I put a timer on you, was after you went for 5 minutes without answering my question. And then in the 2 minutes, you didn't answer it. And then in the 30 seconds, and you're still talking because you're listening to respond. So now this is what I'm going to do, bro.
I'm going to be quiet. No, don't run. I'm going to be quiet.
My patience, you're not quiet, so you're still talking. My patience are up. I even told the sister before I came in here, I said, I'm under the weather. I really don't have the head to deal with someone who's disingenuous like you. And she said, no, please come. So I came. And now that I'm here, you continue to be proud and disingenuous. So what you should do is maybe you should get with this crew right here and try to actually focus on what my question is and try to prove that instead of running everywhere else. Now, I'm not just going to run on you like that, so you can say whatever you want from that point, and then we'll try to pick this up another time. But you are extremely disingenuous, my man. You have no integrity when it comes to this word. And if you think that's rightfully dividing the word, you're sadly mistaken, because then you would have read that full definition, and you wouldn't read the full definition because that part of the definition proves my context.
Okay.
You got it.
So the first person to skip definitions were you. You went to B, you didn't read A. Okay, so when you read from the New Testament, my brother, you're quoting the actual seed from the Old Testament. We read seed in the Old Testament. Old Testament was first. So when the Greeks read seed, they're putting it in their own words, but it stems from the Old Testament. That's why when you look at Thayer's Greek lexicon, it starts from the Hebrew, the Old Testament. So it says, we're not going to skip to B. We're going to start with A. It says spermatos, and then we got spero, which see from Homer down Hebrew, the seed from which anything springs. A, from which a plant germinates. The seed, the grain or kernel, which is talking about grains, and it give you Matthew's New Testament, 1 Corinthians give you Old Testament, okay? And then at the very last, it says spados is lastly, and that's 2 Corinthians 9:10, okay? We click on that, I guarantee you it's green.
Hold on, let me just turn my computer down slightly. It's way too loud. All right.
Or mustard seed, and then it says metaphorically. So we skip your B. What happened to this B? This B first. It says metaphorically, a seed, a residue, or a few survivors. Okay? A few survivors reserved as the germ of a new race, just as seed is kept for the harvest for the sowings. Romans 9:29, Isaiah 1:9. Okay? Now, we go to B now, the B definition. It says the semen viral. It says properly used, Leviticus 15, where it says the seed of copulation. You see it through copulation there to let you know that this is sperm from a human. And then it uses Leviticus 18:20, and it says the word seed, by the way, is not seed here. It says carnally, but carnally uses the same word for seed, the same Hebrew word, zera, okay? And then Hebrews 11:11 it talks about Sarah conceiving seed. That's it. And then it says by metonymy, metonymy. I said it right the first time. Okay, so this is not literal now. Okay? If you look up what metonymy is, it's a word that represents something that's not what the word is. So it says the product of semen. We're all the product of semen. But that's not what's going on here. You said seed means sperm. That's wrong. Seed means children, offspring, progeny, family, race, posterity. Okay? And it will tell you when it means sperm, Hebrews 11:11, 3 times in the Bible. Hebrews 11:11, Leviticus 15:16 through 18, Leviticus 18 and 20. That's it. That's it. Okay. So now it says very often in the Old Testament, so in the singular, either of one or collectively of many. Romans 9 and 7, and then it goes all the way down to Romans 1 and 3. So Romans 1 and 3, when it says seed, the focal point is not on sperm. The focal point is children, offspring, progeny, family, race, prosperity. So when it says God made his son, it didn't say his son was born of a man and woman. It said God made his son. He was made. And it said that he took on the offspring, the progeny, the children, the family, the race, the posterity of David. Okay, that's it. So now what the viewers might not, well, the panelists might not know is that in the Bible, you can get inheritance of somebody's lineage without being related to them at all. Okay? So that means that if I died, okay? If I died and I had a wife and we had no kids, another man can have sex with my wife and that kid is donated to me. So the man who has sex with that woman, that kid is not his. That kid gets my inheritance and not that man's inheritance. That's the Bible. That's adoption. Okay. That's all throughout the Bible. So adoption, matter of fact, I've read to you before, you cherry pick. I've read about Joseph and Jacob. So Jacob had 10 kids and Joseph was one of them. But Joseph had 2 kids. He had Manasseh and Ephraim. So what did Joseph do? What did Jacob do? This is Genesis 48:3. Jacob.
So all of that right there is, I really believe that's going over his head. This is why I like to just deal with one thing with these guys. One thing. So if the one thing is going to be Romans 1 and 3, let's talk about that, right? Or if we're going to talk about something else, let's talk about that. But let's not bounce around, because now, since we're bouncing around, I'm going to talk about other things that I don't believe he was prepared. And he might have been, like he said he was freestyling. Okay? He said he was. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, you can freestyle, but it's better to be prepared in advance. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, so I'll play the rest of it a little earlier tomorrow, and so I want to play the funny one, but I'm gonna play 2. So tomorrow I'm gonna play the one with Tazariak, right? Or do you want to hear the one with Deacon? Which one? That's the card. You want to hear the one with Tazariak or Deacon?
It doesn't matter, either one.
All right, well, you know, I'm gonna go Deacon. I'm gonna go Deacon because that was like, it was better, and you're gonna see the difference. He was like, he was cool, calm, just talking regular. These guys, they get mad, they get the attitude, they get, all that girly girl stuff. Like, dude, stop it. It's just a conversation on Virginburg, man. You had plenty of, like he said, you had plenty of them. Were you mad at everybody?
Right.
Or you just mad at me? So I got to show part 1 because remember, his whole thing is prophecy, prophecy, prophecy. Well, that's part two. I guess that's part two of the debate, sis, because the part one debate, the one that mattered the most is Joseph the father? And he didn't even argue with me when I said he wasn't in Matthew 1:16. He let me have it. So it's like, dude, if you let me have it, why are we even talking now? Debate's over. You said he was not the father. I'm sorry, you say he was the father. I read he wasn't, and you let me just have it. You didn't argue, fight, nothing. He let me just have it. So I just continue talking to him because I'm that type of guy. But other people would have been like, "Oh, you lost." Well, he would have done it. If he could have read one scripture where it said Joseph was the father, biologically, he would have kicked me off the damn. You know what I mean? Like, get out of here. But I was just going wherever he wanted me to go. Yeah. So I'm gonna finish playing this, but I also want to play Deacon because I'm trying to get like the big names out of there. So you're gonna hit it one with Deacon. It's pretty fun. So I'll play the rest of this and then some Deacon stuff. I'm trying to think a good time. See, now the best time for me is always early. So, because when I come home at like 7:30, sometimes I gotta make something to eat, for the baby. So I'll be still like, doing stuff. But if I don't go to the gym, like I'm like free the entire morning to talk about this stuff, like with no commercial break. And it's nice and early in the day where I'm like fresh, because I got to get up at 7 in the morning, and I'm watching. So as I'm playing the debate, I'm watching the clock. Like, okay, I got 9 hours of sleep. I keep watching. Okay, I got 8 hours of sleep, and now I'm looking at it. It says I got like 6.5 hours. So I'm gonna keep it where it's at now, timestamp. And I got the other brother too from the day before, the Believer's Way. So we're gonna find a way to tackle everybody. All right. So I think, okay, can you listen to it? You probably can't join, right? You're at work, but can you at least listen to it? Because if so, I'll just send the link where you can listen if you can't join. But yeah, so I'm already losing time. So I don't want to be losing more time where I gotta get up where I'll be doing 5 hours of sleep. All right. So yeah. So we'll talk tomorrow. Thank you for hopping on. And yeah, I hope you're writing down verses because these are good questions to ask the brothers when they come on. All right. So I'm out of here. Shalom.